Hi guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Cara. Today we're doing something different. I watched a video on YouTube from Steph, and she had this tag type of video that she did, and I was really excited for it, so I decided I will do that as well. I don't have recommendations for every book. I think there's one question I didn't have a book for, so if you guys want to recommend me books for this tag, or if you want to also do this video for a tag, do that if you want to, but I would like to have recommendations and see what you guys like. Also, you can comment and we can see if we like the same books and stuff like that. So yeah, let's get into this video. Okay, so the first question she asked was a book you tell people is your favorite, and for me it is The Unhoneymooners. When I was just getting back into reading, this was one of my favorites of that year, which was 2021, and I really enjoyed this book. It was really good. I liked the enemies to lovers because it was like they didn't like each other, and then they had to go on this honeymoon that her sister and his husband needed to go to, but they were poisoned. Well, not poisoned, yes, poisoned, food poisoning. And then these two needed to go because they weren't they didn't eat all the food the other people ate, so they didn't get the food poisoning. So it's a really good story. The banter was good. I really loved this book. It was really good. So go give this one a try. Then we have a book that is your guilty pleasure, and I thought about it and I was like, I'm not sure what she meant, but then I asked my mother and she was like, she said some things, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take it as I get very happy, excited and giddy about that book. And also it's not something that a lot of people would know I really liked, but yes, for me it is From Look Off with Love. If you follow me on Instagram, I am currently reading this to annotate and stuff, and for a video obviously, so that's spoilers for a video coming soon. So I really like this book. It is following Evan, and it's following Jasmine, and they're both figure skaters, and this is their love story. It's Grumpy Sunshine, I think. I'm not sure about that, but I think they are Grumpy Sunshine. It's also on ice, and I really like ice. I really like ice hockey, so this was really a fun thing to read because of the figure skating. So yes, I recommend this book for this. The next question is a book everyone loved that I didn't love. Sorry to say this, but the ACOTAR first two books, I read both, sit through both books. I didn't like it. It wasn't for me. It was just, so for the ACOTAR series, it was very slow paced. I didn't enjoy it as much as my friend did, so I told her I'm not going to continue the series. I sat through two books, and I'm not gonna sit through the others. I'm sorry. I didn't like the writing style as much because it was long chapters and stuff like that, and also I didn't love the love triangle. That's something that gets me. The love triangle was just like, why? In book one she was with the one guy, and then in book two beginning she was still with that guy, and then something happened and now he's the criminal, and now she's with the other guy, and he's gonna be the main lead actually. So I was just like, no, I'm not gonna sit through this. I know after book two that she's gonna stay with that guy, hopefully. I don't know, it sounds like that. But I don't want to read it. I have so many other books that I want to read. I'm not gonna continue that series. So I'm sorry if you guys like ACOTAR, but I'm not going to continue the series, and I hope you guys respect that. Next we have a book you read the fastest. Now I have a lot of them, but they're on my Kindle, so they're not physical, but I do have a physical book, and it's If the Crown Fits by Liane, I don't know how to say that, Gillimui. But I got this arc from her, and I was so happy to get this. I was so excited. I waited, I think, 2 months before she could actually send me a copy, and I was so happy when I got it in the mail. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you would have seen me posting reels and photos and stuff when I got it. So I was really excited for this book, and I read it in, we can say, a day, because I started late at night, and then the next morning when I woke up, I finished it. I went on and I read it and I finished it, and it was, I think, in maybe 10 hours or something. That was pretty long for me, but I mean, it was a physical copy. If this was the ebook, I would have probably read it in 3 hours or so. But I also did my annotations, that's why it took me longer. But I really enjoyed this book. It was really good. It's about this one girl, they don't say the names, it's about Laura and Scott, and Laura is like a thief, and she is contracted to steal something from Scott, who's a prince, and the story's gonna go from there, and she's gonna have to pretend to be a princess and stuff like that. It was really good. I would definitely recommend reading this book. It was a quick, fast read, and I also think it will be young adult, because there was no smut in it, so it was really young adultish. And also, if you do like that, here's a recommendation. So go give this one a try. I really liked it. I do read smut and stuff, but I know my one friend doesn't really like smut, so I'll recommend this. They do kiss once or twice, but that isn't really smut. So yeah, I just wanted to drop that in there. So go give this book a try. Then we have a book that deserves more hype. Now I sat and I thought about it, and well, we got to Mr. Wrong Number by Lynn Painter. I have seen a few people post it, but not enough in my opinion. I really enjoyed this book, and there's also no smut, if I'm thinking correctly. Like, there's minimal, there's not any open door scenes, I think. So it was also like a young adult book, which was really good. I really enjoyed this one. It's following Olivia and Colin. Now this is a brother's best friend type of romance, and it was really good. And it's also a wrong number romance. I didn't know what that was going in, but that was like, he thought he was messaging someone else, and it was actually her. And then she's like, who the heck is he, and what. And from there the story is gonna go, and then he needs to decide, when he finds out who she is, either he is gonna call this off, or he is gonna go on, and he's still gonna message her, even though he knows this is his best friend's sister. So I highly recommend this book. I was really enjoying this book when I read it, and this is just a fun, quick, easy read. So go give this one a try. Then the next question is a book that is becoming a TV show or a movie. Now, I don't really have recommendations for this. I have seen a lot of other people have recommendations for this. I know Emily Henry got one of her books. I'm not sure which one, but I thought it was The Book Lovers, and I'm not sure. I think it's the vacation one. But yes, so give me recommendations for those ones so I can go read them. Please, in fantasy and romance. If it's another genre, I most likely will not go read it. So give me the recommendations for those ones. But I know Emily Henry's one book got to, I think it's a movie. I think it's going to be a movie, so go check that one out. The next question is a book that I have reread the most. Now, I don't usually reread. I did now for the annotations, because the first time I read a book I don't annotate it, except if I'm on my Kindle or my phone, and then I would highlight and make notes about it, but otherwise I don't do that. So I have read this one, I think, the third time, and it's got its annotations in. The last part of this book I have not yet done, that's why there's no sticky notes, but I will be getting back to this. I reread this because the second book came out, so I was happy to do this. At this moment I'm doing From Luca for Love and Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I'm reading those two, but this one I have read for the third time, so it's taking the icing for this one. Okay, the next question is a book from a genre you don't typically read. Now, I have been sticking to romance and fantasy because I love the genres, and I don't really feel like reading something else. There isn't really anything that I could say, although I did read Rich Dad Poor Dad, those books. I don't know if they count, but I did read them and I would recommend reading them. If you're like, I think from 18, maybe younger, it's just how you work with your money, how to invest and stuff like that. Depends on which of his books you pick up. So I would definitely recommend those ones. And also, I don't really read short stories. So I got an ARC short story sent to me from Liane again. Thank you very much for that. And I don't really read them. Look, it's very small, but I'll be giving this one a chance because it's an ARC. So if you guys have any short stories or any genre that you read, otherwise just know I don't read thrillers. So anything else, any other genre, I might give it a try. So please recommend me books for other genres. Then I will slowly maybe get out of my comfort zone and read maybe once or twice a year another book's genre. I could just try that. Next we have a book that deserves all the hype that it gets, and I thought a lot about it. There are a lot of books that deserve the hype what I have already read, but the most one was for me Terms and Conditions. I went into this series, the first book, thinking I wouldn't like this, it wouldn't be fun, it would just be like Disney, it will be, yeah, it will be okay, you know, I can read it, it's a quick read. And I actually read the first book and I was like, wow, okay, this is not what I expected. And I picked up the second book, and the second book was better. I'm saying it, the second book was better than the first book. So I am waiting for my third book to arrive, and then I'll be doing a reading vlog for you guys about the third book while I annotate and read, and you guys just love that. So I'm gonna do that, but this one definitely worth the hype. I enjoyed this one more than the second book because here's more banter and stuff, but also a few things in this book are just rubbing me the wrong way, but it was still a great read, and I really enjoyed this book. So go give this one a try if you haven't. It's the Billionaire Dreamland series from Lauren Asher. Please go give this book a try. The next question is a book you usually recommend when asked to give a recommendation. Now for me, it depends on what you read. So I would usually ask what you like, what your no-nos, you know, the don't lets, like maybe love triangles or cheating or stuff like that. And then I can make like a list of things I have read that I could recommend. But if it's just like plain easygoing, you don't have any of those, I would definitely recommend The Beach Read. Now I know I really do love Emily Henry's writing. There's nothing wrong with People We Meet on Vacation. I just didn't like that one as much as the rest of her books, and I'm excited for the new one that came out, so I'm still on my way to reading that one. But I do definitely recommend The Beach Read for this one, because every time I recommend this book. I feel like it's a really good book to start with, and if you're new to a certain trope or stuff, you can definitely read this one. It's also about writers, and I really loved this one, and it was fun, and it's just an easy, quick read to relax. The next question we have is a book that has my favorite characters in. And I don't think this was a hard one for me per se, but there is so many great couples and that I wanted to mention, and a lot of stuff that I enjoy in books, so it was kind of hard for me to just pick one. So yeah, I did pick one. I think this will be my like top one, but there are others. So if you guys want me to recommend more of these, I'll make a video for you guys. And yeah, so just comment and tell me you want more of these recommendations, and I'll make a video, or I'll send it to you personally. It doesn't matter which one you prefer, so then we can do that. Okay, so for this one I said Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Scar. Now I haven't gotten my second copy yet. So when I read the second book, this might change, might not, because it's maybe we'll see how I feel about the second book. But I know a lot of people that have already read the second book tells me that they enjoy Nash more than Knox. So we'll see how that one goes. Next question is a book you wish you could live in. Now, I did sit and wonder, do I want a normal world? Do I want fantasy world? Do I want aliens? But at the end of the day, I thought about, no, let's make it a normal one. But I do have recommendations for this question, so if you guys want that, please let me know, comment, then I can share. So the book I chose is The Takeover by T.L. Swan. Now I really enjoyed this book. I would definitely want to live in it, because then I can just see Tristan and Claire's children banter. Like, seriously, that was the fun thing, and they're playing pranks on each other, and it was like really good. And his billionaire, it was really good. I enjoyed every single second of this book. Next question is a book you thought you would hate but ended up loving. Now before we get into this, I just need to say I don't like dual timelines, but I really enjoyed this book. Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren, and I don't know why, but me and this book, we vibe very good, and I really enjoyed this book. Like, I thought I wouldn't, I couldn't put it down. The next question is a book that made me cry. Now, I don't typically read books that make me cry because I don't want to be sad, but lately I have been buying more books that look like they are sad because people say they cried, and I don't know how to handle that. Should I keep the books? Should I read them? But my experience with this book that I'm gonna recommend was really good. The ending was just very sad, and that's when I cried. But the rest of the book was really good, and I enjoyed that book so much. And I also loved how the relationship work in that book, and it was just so much fun. And that book's name is 1,000 Boy Kisses. I can't remember the author. I'm going to put up the picture, but I ordered my copy of that, and I'm just so happy it's going to be here sometime soon, hopefully before my birthday. So yes, I'm really hoping that would work out for me. So yes, I really enjoyed that book. It was sad. I did cry. I know I don't have that on video. That was before I started my Bookstagram. So that was like in the beginning, when I when I started. I read the book and I was like, no, I'm thinking I'm gonna give you like a 2 or 3, and I didn't have a cool rating system. I was just like, no, this feeling I can't. I'm gonna give it a 2 or whatever. And now it's 2 years later, and I do have a cool rating system that I think it's cool. I do have a rating system for the stars, and then I have one for the smarts. So I learned a lot in 2 years, and so this was a really, really good book, and I would like to reread it because I only remember snippets of it. I was telling my mother when I'm doing rereads and it's like 2 years, and now I'm actually reading the book again. I was like, oh, was this in a book? I can't remember that. And then she's like, yeah, that's what happens when you don't read it every day. I was like, okay, but I didn't know this was in this book. And then she's like, no, you did know, but you didn't know, you know. And I was just laughing at her, and I was just like, yeah, okay, Mom, I get that. So I'm reading from Look Off With Love again, and that's what happens. Like, stuff that happened there, I was like, I can't remember this happening, but okay, it works. I love this book still, because that is one of my all-time favorite books, and I read it 2 years ago, just when I started out, and I didn't know it was like gonna be long. I didn't know it was a slow burn and all these things. I didn't know. I was just starting out reading, and I picked up that book because everyone was like, Mariana Zapata, Mariana Zapata. And I looked at her books and I was like, which one looks the easiest and the shortest, or something like that. And I picked up from Look Off With Love because it was ice skating. And I don't know, I have this fascination with ice skating and ice rinks, but yeah, although I don't do that myself, this was just like fun to read about it, and I really, really enjoyed that book at the time. And now that I'm rereading, I'm like, wow, I can see why I really love that book. Okay, and then the last question is a book you wish you could read for the first time. Now, I have a lot of books that I would have wanted to read for the first time, and I've got a lot of romance in this video, so I was like, maybe I should do fantasy, you know? 1 or 2 fantasy in between won't hurt anyone. So for me, it was His Saving Grace by Kylie Gopal. This was also an arc sent by the author. I also did the annotations for this book. I was really happy to get this book, and it's also Fated Mates. It's werewolf. You're gonna love this one, so go give this one a try. The next book is The Daughter of the Pirate King. I really, really, really enjoyed this book. I wouldn't mind rereading this duet. I still need the second book, but I've already read the second book on my Kindle. So yeah, I'm just happy seeing this beautiful book in my hands because I enjoyed this. And also, just look at this. It's so pretty. Like, I don't know, it's just that pretty. I really like that. And I would recommend this book for a book that I wish I could read the first time. And then lastly, also a pirate one is Fable. Now, I still need to buy the second one in hardback. When I was first starting out, I didn't get the idea about hardback and paperback. I was just like, oh, it's a book. It's a beautiful cover. I love the cover. I love it. I'm gonna buy it. And I bought it for like 300 and something rand. And later on, I was like, oh my word. Now I need to get the second book also in hardback, because this is in hardback. And that's also going to cost me almost the same as this book. And I was like, well, the paperbacks are cheaper, but they don't have the nice covers. And that's how I found out that I love covers. If the book's cover is really pretty, I might buy it. I will buy it, probably. So I really enjoyed that, finding that out about myself. And also, I love these maps in fantasy, because then you can follow along as you read the book. You're like paging, and you're like, they call a name of a city or a town. You're just like, front, watch where it is. I really enjoyed that, and it was really good, those books. So if you guys have any recommendations for these questions for me, please let me know. Thank you for being here and watching my video and sitting through all of this video. Please like and subscribe, and also comment, please. I would like to hear you guys' opinions, and even if it's just like, great, I love this video, or more recommendations, please comment. I would like to see that. Otherwise it's just me talking to this camera. So yeah, thank you very much for being here. I really enjoy making these videos for you guys, so see you next time. Without hesitation.